guys, this is Tay again. Welcome back. This is our next, finally, another video of a speed build. I'm trying to make them not an hour long, but so far, this is our second video and it's again an hour long. Maybe I'm building too much, I don't know. But this one I sped up to be ×4 like speed instead of being just double time. So hopefully, I can't imagine how long this would be if I did it just double time. Let me know if this is too fast or anything like that. Leave that below in the comments or however you guys want to let me know. But this is going to be our polar bear build. Finally, we're starting our Arctic Circle deal. So I'm building the polar bear, and that's all that's going to be in this video. So this portion I wanted to be kind of like more of a little bit of an underwater kind of situation that you can like see the polar bears swimming around, and eventually I'll put like an underwater feeder so that way the guests can see them eating and having a grand old time with all that fun stuff. Basically, my whole idea for this side of the park is going to be like kind of like an Arctic Circle situation. We're gonna have some polar bears. I'm gonna do a really cool penguin enclosure next, where it's gonna be all inside. So you kind of feel like you're gonna be like in the Arctic or all that fun stuff. However, that's gonna work. I haven't quite fleshed out the idea yet, but that's my idea. This barrier was super difficult for me to figure out because all of that dirt was, I originally had a very different idea for how I wanted the polar bear and penguins to be set up. I kind of wanted them to be next to each other and have like them sharing a body of water and just like glass going through it, but I couldn't make that work. So I had to like re-level everything back out and adjust it so that way it wasn't, I don't know, but so now the ground was all messed up. So I wanted it to be snow because it's the Arctic kind of tundra situation. So I just put in a bunch of coolers, and basically all I'm doing is just making sure everything is just even and it's all going to get snow everywhere. And then after a while, once I'm happy with it, I just put them all underneath the ground and I cut that out. I didn't think you guys needed to see that. This is where we're going to start building their little pond. I always like to do a little bit of a beach situation, and you'll see that as we kind of start to go build to the front of it. I don't know, I think it's nicer for the animals. Here I am caring about simulated animals, but I think it's nicer for them to get into the water, and it's easier to definitely decorate. Like I can put rocks and make it a really nice like true beach area. And you'll see me put rocks in there later as I start to decorate. I kind of flip back and forth a lot on what I'm doing and where I'm building in here, so I do apologize for that. And the camera controls were a little weird for me for this because I was building quite a bit in The Sims, so I'm trying to like get used to all the different controls and remember how to flip back and forth. So if you get dizzy, this is your warning. I'm sorry. And this pathway kind of is the death of me. As you can see, I have it maxed out on the pathway. I always like just start building and I kind of forget that, oh, hey, you don't need like a super fat walkway right here. And I was trying to figure out how to make it better so where you can like actually see the animals. I think I rebuilt this pathway, I don't know, I have to say at least like 10, 20 different times. Because even what you're seeing in this video, I had rebuilt it and pulled it out, and the pathing in this game is really funky. It takes a little bit to get used to, but I think once I figured it out, it's pretty nice, pretty decent. Now I'm gonna start building a den here. This den, oh my gosh, there's a story on this guy. I done this part. This is the first original part, and I did this. I built it in, and I just like building the shapes up out of the stamping tool, to help make it all. I don't know. I feel like that's like a faster and quicker way than just building it up yourself. I don't know. I like doing it that way, but I started doing it this way, and right there, that cut is when I'm going to expose myself here. My game completely crashed, and I had lost the build. Like, I had built this den twice now. I had lost the original den that I built, but I kind of think I like this one better, so it may have worked out better for us. So this is their main sleeping area, and then there's like a cute little hallway for them to walk down. And this, I just kept going till I got to the outside, and then I was like, well, let's add another little entryway so that way they can run and use them. And it's kind of cool to play the game and watch them actually use the things that I built for them. It's super, super cute. What I like to do is, I had a really hard time figuring out how to get the snow actually to work on top of the den. I did try to build this a couple different times. This polar bear den had been the death of me. I tried doing it on stream, I tried doing it off stream, and just making it work. I couldn't figure out how to get the snow on it and how to build rocks to make it not look like a jetty that had seagulls that pooped on it. It was rough, but I actually watched a YouTube video. I don't remember who the creator was either, who did that, but they were like, hey, just put freaking just put the snow, like the coolers, in the rock. And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. And there's definitely different ways to do it, and I think I could have made it work with the original mountain I built, but I'm pretty happy with this, because then when we start putting trees in and everything, it looks really cozy, and it looks more like Canada, where polar bears reside, versus like the Arctic Circle, but we're just gonna still call it the Arctic Circle. That's all that matters. So this area, this was actually kind of fun for me to build. This is, again, here we are messing with the the pathing, because now I'm making it to an appropriate size, because I realized, oh, when it's all spaced out, or when it's the widest space ever, that you can't actually see into the water. So but anyway, this area was fun for me to build, because I made it like all out of wood, like a giant log cabin, to kind of get the feel, because how this Arctic Circle is kind of working, I want it to be kind of like immersive as possible. So those rocks that you see over there to the left, I believe, they are, it's like you walk through ice and everything, and then you come out. So in order to get to this area, you have to go through a log cabin, and then the log cabin empties out into this cave. Then after you walk through the cave, and there's like stalactites and stalagmites made out of ice, or icicles, I guess is the correct word. And then there's gonna be snow falling, and so that way when you come out, it's like, oh, I'm actually in the Arctic. So I'm gonna do as much as I can to make it look like, hey, I actually am where these animals live. Because remember, this is a sanctuary, I guess, kind of zoo, so I felt like that would be kind of fun to be as immersive as possible. That'd be nice. We'll see. I'll start messing with the walkway again in a second. I thought it would be nice if if I sunk it into the ground, so it kind of like looked like you were actually like walking in this area, versus being like, oh, this is very obviously a pathway over it. I'm learning a lot still with this game, and I'm trying to make it look as realistic as possible as I can, with how the game works. And I'm still continuously watching all these other YouTube videos on how to make things better, and I'm constantly looking up, what does a cabin look like in real life? What does this kind of exhibit look like in real life? And just making it as best as possible. I know I'm crazy, but I don't know, it's fun for me. And these, I didn't really know exactly what I was doing as I was doing it. I was like, oh, maybe we can just make it look like giant steps, like as you walk down, but you can't actually walk on them because you're walking on the ramp. I'm trying not to use steps anywhere in this park either, because I know there's not actually like any handicapped people in this game. But I do try to make it like accessible, so I'm trying not to use stairs, because the game just doesn't have people like strolling around in wheelchairs, but I do think about them. So I think I added an extra step on this side before I did it on the other side. And I was like, oh, I actually kind of like that. It makes it look, it works better with the way that the ramp goes. So here I am adding the second step. Just placing all the wood and making it look as cabiny as possible. Like, you know, because it's still, at the end of the day, it's still an exhibit. There's going to be education in here. I actually went into Canva and I made infographics for the polar bears. I learned a lot about polar bears in this journey. I probably, now that I've done it once, I'll probably keep going. So I made things on like, here's what is found in the ocean, like what they eat. Here is all of this other stuff, and here's where they live. Here's how much they weigh. It was kind of like writing a school paper. I think we did one of them together on stream. We did the first one where there's a wall that I create in here that you can walk up, and it's one of the zoos at close to home has something like that, so where you can like walk up. It's like made out of ice, and you can put like your hand on it or like your finger in the wall, and it actually is like, this is how cold it is there. It's not actual really ice, it's just plastic ice that they make to feel cold so you know how cold it is. So I tried to simulate that as best as possible, and then I made a cute little infographic about like how cold is it, here's the temperature, where they live, and everything like that. Here's where they can be found. And basically just about their not ecosystem, but where their climate, where you can find them. And there's our two resident little polar bears. They're walking around pretty fast because I have it up on 4 speed, which I think I'm enjoying this better. Again, like I said, hopefully the next one I do with the penguins won't be also an hour long, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because like I said, I want to do it inside. I have pretty cool idea for making it look like you are there. And this, I am putting in some windows. Again, this is kind of like a little bit of an exhibit. There's not much education that's going to be put here. More just for looking. One side I made to be kind of like a cabin. Just warm. I put another fireplace in there. Put a rug on the floor. And then one side is like polar bears in a forest. And I didn't realize that these little polar bears, they kind of glow when you turn the lights off. So add some light and some texture. I'm also adding texture to the wood so it's not as stagnant, I guess. Not as flat. That's a better word. Not as flat. I think I forgot to do it to the other side. I'll have to go back and do that. And I added dirt to the bottom because I don't know why I didn't do this. I'm just realizing this right now. I could have just put wood on the bottom, so that way you're like walking in. I just put dirt there instead. Maybe I'll go back and fix that and do that. I didn't have that, literally until right now. I didn't have that thought. I just was like, dirt, that way it looks like, I don't know. So I guess I'll actually put a floor. That way it seems like a cabin versus not. So for these open parts, again, I'm trying to make everything more real world. So it wouldn't just be open like that if you were to go to like a zoo and have an exhibit there. So I do go find some glass and I place it in there to make it more so like people can't go climb in there, because it wouldn't just be open like that in a regular zoo. And this side is the cabin side. That I think it's actually called a wheel box. I went and found that I used that in the other cabin that you first walk through to get to the Arctic Circle in the first place. So I went and got that from over there, and then I'm just placing these wooden logs in there to make it look used. And since I put like a fireplace, I make a fireplace to put on the other side. That way it's like, oh, these are the logs that go in there. So I use the same thing. And how I make the fireplace is this. I think I did this. Oh, I actually did not show you this. I go and I get fire. Like there's an African hot coal thing. And it actually just spurts up some sparks every once in a while, and it looks like it's warm and it's crackling like that. So that's what I use. I just sink it into the ground, and then when I press play, it just sparks up and looks like a little fire, and I put like a rug underneath it, so it looks really warm, like someone's living room. I wanted it to look warm and inviting, like people wanted to sit there. So I'm just gonna spend some time in here now decorating and making it look nice and warm and cozy. So I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy this part of the speed build, and I'll catch you guys in a couple minutes or maybe a couple seconds, depending how long this takes, to explain more about what's going on and how this is working. Okay, hi guys, welcome back onto this side of the exhibit walkthrough. So this is the brick wall of ice, I guess, that I was explaining to you guys about. I got inspired by one of the zoos by my house, so I thought it'd be fun to do something similar, to put some like snow falling down and to have a lot of different kind of education boards up around and make it a learning and thoughtful, like it's basically like a hands-on kind of learning experience. That's kind of the main goal. That's kind of what I wanted to happen with this. So hopefully there's a little bit of interaction, but again, it's Planet Coaster, so I don't think they'll be interacting too much with it the way I want them to, of course, because I can't tell them go put your hands on it. But I can at least put education up, so that way they learn something. Okay, so it's kind of getting to the point where we've reached the part of our speed build where I think I'm just gonna let you guys sit back, relax, enjoy the calming music, and just keep watching and seeing how this beautiful polar bear exhibit comes to existence. Again, if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to write them below in the comments, and I can make a video answering them later and just kind of explaining how I did things, why I did things, or anything like that. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks again so much for stopping by and taking a quick second to watch the video. And even if you're just doing it while your background music with work, whatever, you guys, I appreciate you guys 100% completely all the time. If you guys do enjoy it, please leave a like or a comment below. It helps work the algorithm so that way we can keep finding new Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo friends. I am gonna find a way to make these a lot faster. I might change the way that I completely film them in general, since a lot of this is just me figuring out what I do like and what I don't like. I may just film it in chunks, build off, and then film what I've showed you guys. So hopefully those can be around 20 to 30 minutes. And when I get down to that, you guys let me know whether you like these longer ones better, where I explain everything as I'm doing it, or if you guys like the shorter ones. Let me know how it goes. Either way, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and enjoy the polar bears. Thank you.